Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. A jammed-packed half hour coming up tonight. We'll update you on the North Dakota Indoor Practice Facility, still under construction, but soon to open. We'll also be joined by women's assistant hockey coach Eric Fabian. North Dakota with a road sweep, getting ready to host Bemidji State this weekend. Men's basketball coach Brian Jones on tap, and also our leadoff man tonight, women's basketball coach Travis Brewster. UND played just one game last week, went on the road, defeated Northern Colorado 68-58 to get back in the win column. Coach, good to be back with you again. As your defense goes many times, so goes your team, correct?
Absolutely. You know, I thought we played tremendously on the defensive end out there. We focused on it all week long. We had some carryover from practice. The intensity level was there, you know, and I really thought we responded, you know, and it turned up our offense. So it was good to see.
After dropping 2 straight games on the road, good to get back in order here now and get back home this week for a couple games.
Yeah, you know, 2 games, when you drop 2 like that's tough. But at the same time, you got to focus on the next one, and that's all we talked about. And here we are, we're back. 2 big ones coming up this week.
This was a very close game throughout. Your team this year has shown good resolve on the road in close games for the most part, wouldn't you say?
For the most part. You know, I thought for a while, about the 10:54 mark in the second half there when we were playing, we got a little shook for a second because they were doing the right thing and they were doing the right thing, and we weren't closing the gap like we wanted to at that time. And we talked about it during the timeout, said, hey, you know what, sometimes teams do this and we have to be the better team and be stronger for longer, and that's what they did.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights from Greeley last Saturday. And as I said, very tight basketball game. I mean, if somebody had a 5-point lead in this game, it was a big lead.
Oh yeah, it was back and forth, you know, and yeah, I thought they did a good job of attacking us a little bit off the bounce, but we pounded inside, you know, and credit our team, we got to the free throw line. You know, that was big.
Well, and in the end, as we'll see, that was the difference in the game. But yeah, 34 attempts at the free throw line. Leah Zabala in double figures with 14, and yet a very tight game throughout the first half.
Yeah, you know, and Leah was tremendous for us in the aspect. She kind of kept us going. You know, Deshara Strange is a tough player. You know, she's good. But I thought Leah did a good job kind of keeping us, you know, just heading true north like we wanted to go.
Got some key points off turnovers in this game.
We did, you know, and I thought we capitalized well. We found the people in the right spots to give them great scoring opportunities. You know, there's a great scoring move by Megan Lauk. Yeah. She was big, and obviously so was Suri Burke.
Yeah, 31-31 at the half. Northern Colorado opened up a bit of a lead in the second half, but you mentioned Suri Burke, one of her better shooting games of the season. 4 of 5 overall, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and some big baskets in the second half.
You know, Suri, she's a good shot. There's no getting around it. She's got to take those, you know, and people are leaving her open. She's going to knock them down, you know, and I credit our guards for getting the ball in the right spots.
But there it is. The big number from the free throw line. 31 makes in 34 attempts, and key free throws down the stretch to finish the deal.
Yeah, we were calm up there and cool and collected, and we knocked them down just like we did in practice.
Lauk, 23 points.
Yeah.
When Megan Lauk has that kind of day, you're even a much more difficult team to defend.
Well, absolutely, and if you think about the other part too, they geared up their whole defense to stop our inside game.
Yeah.
You know, so now those kids have to step up and knock down shots, and they did it.
Well, it was a game, as you said, that they wanted to take Emily Evers away. She had just 1 field goal on the day. So for your team to, you know, still be able to respond to that, I think is maybe a growing sign of your basketball team.
Yeah, it's a growing sign, and you have to credit Emily too, because she didn't quit playing while she was in there. She knew what was going on, and she was mature enough to realize, hey, if they're setting this up to stop me, then I got to keep working, and now everybody else will have opportunities. And that's a sign of a mature basketball player. All
right, we look ahead to this week. Idaho, Thursday night at the Betty. We'll have that game for you live on Midco Sports Network. Eastern Washington, first place, Eastern Washington on Saturday. Idaho's the newcomer to the league. Tell us a little bit about Idaho.
You know, they're explosive. You know, they score in bunches. They get up and down the floor well. They got some nice schemes that they run defensively. You know, it's going to be a tough ball game. There's no getting around it. And you got Eastern Washington, who's been, you know, they've been on rhythm all year.
Are they any surprise to you, Eastern Washington?
No, they were that team last year. I just thought a couple key games didn't go their way. Same type of group, same type of resolve that they played with last year. They get after you defensively, and they push tempo.
Well, it's a fun weekend because it's against 2 teams who figured to be in the mix here as we head the rest of the season, don't you think?
They're all big at this time of the year right now. Now we're kind of getting through that first half, so to speak. This is one of the teams will only play once, you know, so these games will have a little bit more weight to them. So it's kind of more of a heavyweight punch-out.
All right, Coach, good luck this weekend, and we'll recap your games against Idaho and Eastern Washington next week here on UND Sports Extra. Men's basketball coach Brian Jones is on deck. He's with us next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back. We're talking men's basketball with head coach Brian Jones. Coach, good to be back with you again. You played just one game this past week. Last Saturday, a overtime loss at home to Northern Colorado. For the third consecutive game, it was a game that was a winnable game in a late game situation, and yet just not quite able to finish the deal.
Yeah, just our 3 games have really come down to 1 or 2 possessions. That's how close we are, but how far we are at the same time. So it's coming down to just confidence and knowing you can get the job done. We've executed. What has happened, we haven't made a timely shot. Whether Jerron missed a layup against Sac State, it is all running together.
Yep,
we had some layups missed in the game on Saturday, late in the game. It's confidence, but they're executing. They just got, again, finish was the thing we talked about.
Did you feel you played better last Saturday than you had the week prior against either Sac State or Portland State?
I think we're making strides. We rebounded better. We only gave up 6 offensive rebounds. 3 of those came in the first 2 minutes of the game. So the next 42, 43 minutes of the game, we only gave up 3, so there was growth there. We valued the ball until overtime. We only had 9 turnovers, and then overtime we turned it over 3 straight times, which led to baskets there. But I thought our offense was really clicking. I thought our transition game was really good. Our inside-out attack was good. The only thing that was not better was in key moments is guarding the dribble.
All right, Brian, let's take a look at the highlights here from Saturday afternoon. And you were chasing points early, though, against Northern Colorado in this game to begin the game.
We didn't get off to a good start. We missed some shots early, but they came out and made some adjustments. And as you're seeing, that's what they did. They had 2 really good guards, could really attack the rim, but shoot it as well.
Yeah, well, they made 5 of their first 8 3-point field goal attempts to build an 11-point
lead. They did, and that came off our poor shot selection, in all honesty. We took some quick ones, and they came down and made us pay. They had some guys making threes, like Spence right there. He doesn't make threes.
No.
But he made threes in this game.
He did. But you answer with a 12-2 run here.
We did. We subbed. And I thought, I don't know if he called that, but we subbed. He called the bank on that.
We did, in fact.
And our bench gave us a lot of energy and execution.
Yeah. Eston Tyler, a big day, season high, 21 points, 7 of 8 field goals. You trailed 34-31 at the half. Second half now, again, the Bears build their lead, but my goodness, what a day Quentin Hooker had distributing the basketball.
Again, he's making strides the last 2 weekends. A big play there. We talked about a key for us. Get your feet to the paint and make the extra one. And as a good, Craig Shields gave us great minutes.
Yeah, he did, and Quentin Hooker had a career-high 10 assists on the day. After Northern Colorado builds its lead to 9 early in the second half, again, you answer with an 8-0 run here.
Again, unselfish basketball, our best basketball transition right there. That's why we need to get stops, because our best offense is in the open floor.
You mentioned you played a lot of players on the stage. Josiah Coleman, Shields got a playing time on this day.
Yeah, it was just, I thought they had good weeks of practice, and I'm going to reward guys who practice hard and give us energy, and they made the most of it.
Yeah. Final 3 minutes of this game, frantic, to say the least. Down 5, Tyler hits a 3. You're within 2 at this point.
Big shot, we needed to get a stop, and they go to their senior guy, Svi Hovick, who again made play after play for them.
Yeah, and Quentin Hooker made play after play distributing the basketball.
Great read right there. Again, that was in transition. It was a little bit slower, but those two are really their best buddies, but as you can tell, they play well with one another and really know where each other's are at on the floor.
Down the stretch, you would have an answer, but so would Tevin Svi Hovick down the stretch.
Good player. That's a 4-year starter. He's been there, done it. He's made big shots. Year in and year out, and it shows you that when you have seniors, you got a chance to win on the road.
This is an acrobatic play by DeRuin to tie the game again.
Tough shot. Again, he seeks contact on that. Good play by him. We need a stop right here, and that's the thing. It's under, I don't know what the time is, but I know it's either under a minute or under 2.
All right, the waning seconds. Walk us through here. This is crazy.
Well, we're just trying to get it down quickly and get our feet to the paint, and Q just makes a great play, and Eston a great shot. And then as we watch this in film, this gets really nutty. This probably would have been a Sports Center highlight if he makes that one. How does he miss that shot? But it's a great play by Q and gives ourselves a chance, an extra 5 minutes to find a way to win a game.
Right. Quentin Hooker nearly with the buzzer beater that would have given you the win in overtime. Turnovers. 3 turnovers to begin the overtime, and they cashed in. They got points off all these turnovers.
I love the drive by Eston right there. Just, he loses it, but we've done such a great job. And then these are 2 back-to-back ones that led the basket. That's where the separation was. We had to foul at the end to make it a 10-point game, but that's why taking care of the basketball is such a big part of any sport, and it got us in overtime. We did a great job to get it to overtime, But 3 straight turnovers led to 3 straight baskets, and that was where the separation was at.
That was the difference of the game, 88-78 the final. Again, Tyler with a season-high 21. Quentin Hooker, his first career double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Carson Shanks got a start on Saturday and equaled his career high with 14 points. Has Carson Shanks earned his way back into the starting lineup as you look ahead this week?
I think he has. He's, I want him to continue to earn those opportunities, but he's been really solid. He gives us a punch inside, and that's a really balanced stat line. I love seeing that from the offensive end. We got to keep nurturing that and developing that.
Take a look at the Big Sky standings, and you and I were chatting in the press conference about a week and a half ago. Is this year that the guard changes in the Big Sky? Someone besides Weber State or Montana winning the conference championship. Right now, you have Sacramento State in first place, the latest they've been in first place ever. Northern Colorado is 4-1. Eastern Washington 4-1. Experienced basketball teams at the top of the standings, Coach.
That's what you're seeing. A guard play, very good guard play, and experience. And that's why it's this year we're rebuilding and building. I love where we're heading, but the teams that are having success right now early in the season, the teams that have been through it together, and that's what they're having the success they're having.
You're bound for Idaho Thursday night, Eastern Washington Saturday. Give us a preview of the road trip.
Toughest road swing of the year, in my opinion. They're both playing very well. We're going to have to play at a high level, which we've played. We just, again, go in there with confidence and just play the way we've been playing and give ourselves a chance to win.
All right, Coach, good luck on the road. We'll recap those road games next week here on the show. We're back and give you an update on the UND indoor practice facility next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back to UND Sports Extra. We are on location at the construction site of the new High Performance Center here at the University of North Dakota. Very happy to have Athletics Director Brian Faison join us for a couple moments. And Brian, I know when the football team was practicing next door at Memorial Stadium earlier this fall, there was just the cross beams going up. Now you've almost got a completely enclosed building. Catch us up on how the progress is going.
They've come a long way. We wish it was done, but we are where we are. We're probably still another 45 or 50 days behind schedule, but in terms of what we had hoped to do. But right now it looks like we'll be on track to take full possession of the facility sometime late summer, and we'll obviously have an opportunity to get a little access before that. But that's the most important thing. We want to be online, for track and for football in particular for the fall. So we'll be definitely in that situation.
What's been the biggest, latest development here on location?
I think getting the final part of the roof laid and then dealing with the siding and getting to the back part here. So right now, really, what's left is finishing up where the main doors or side doors to the complex are being worked on now. That's probably the biggest issue right now is completing that. Obviously, all the indoor work that has to be done is temperature driven, so they want to get this thing closed up, and they've got heaters inside, and it'll be a balmy 40 degrees in there for the rest of the run of the winter.
It may be a surprise to some that the project is behind schedule, because the winter, as you and I would talk about it, has been relatively good. But what have been the challenges that the construction crew has had to face? Well,
I think the biggest challenge initially was getting started on time, and that was a combination of things. This is a project that's driven by private contributions only, and locking everything down. We did have some price increases towards the last minute on some of the bids that made it a little bit more of a stretch for us to get the funding done. But once they got going, they've been going as fast as they can. And obviously, we have had some weather, and I don't know how the guys do the roof. With some of the wind that we've had and the temperatures, but thank goodness the winter's been really, relatively speaking, mild, and they've been able to make up some time. But we're still probably 45, 50 days off.
With the increase in some of the costs that you mentioned, was anything needing to be scaled back on the inside?
No, not really. I mean, the only thing that we've got left that we're in the process of working on right now is the actual seating that's going to go into the facility so you can enjoy a track meet or watch practice. But that's really the only component part left. Obviously, it's designed for phase 2 to be added on, and that'll probably happen in phases, but again, that'll be driven by private benefaction at that time. But at this point, we're in good shape.
And kind of one of the marquee facts of this facility is it's going to be the largest in the nation when it's all said and done. I mean, that in itself has to be kind of a coup for the UND athletic department.
Yeah, we got about a 6,000 square foot lead and when this thing is ready to go. So it'll be 154,000 square feet. And the other thing is the track surface will be one of the elite track surfaces in the country. The only other track surface like it right now will be at the 2016 Olympics. That says a lot. It's a really superb track facility and an unbelievable surface.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, we thank you for your time on updating us here on the High Performance Center on the campus of the University of North Dakota. We thank Brian for his time, and when Dan Hammer returns in studio, he'll be joined by UND women's hockey assistant Eric Fabian. That's next on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Got it again. Contreras going to take the shot. Got it! 1.1 seconds remaining.
Every shot.
And the tasty dish to Larson for the slam and the
every dunk.
Breakaway. Score!
Every goal. Saturday at 2 Central. It's women's hockey with Bemidji State at UND. Then at 7 Central, it's men's hockey with Colorado College at UND. See it all only on Midco Sports Network. This is how we do sports.
The North Dakota women's hockey team returns home this weekend hosting Bemidji State, fresh off a road sweep of Ohio State. Assistant coach Eric Fabian joins us here on UND Sports Extra. Eric, not many series in which you play back-to-back 1-0 hockey games, which you did at Ohio State last weekend.
You know, and you don't see that very often.
No.
And to come on the top end of both of those with the way we played was good. I think early in the year we might have squandered those away a little bit, but we didn't play the style of hockey that we like to play, but we played the style of hockey necessary to get the wins, and the women stuck to what we wanted them to do and got the win. It was
and
good.
Part of your style over the weekend was the play of Shelby Amesley-Benzie. Wow, she was fantastic for the weekend, certainly earning a bid to become the WCHA Defensive Player of the Week, back-to-back shutouts.
Well, if she's not the WCHA Player of the Week, there's something wrong. I mean, honestly, looking at the games, we have a lot of chances early to go up and to put up, get a good lead, 2-3 goals. We didn't get those chances, but you know what? Play came down the other way. Shelby makes some nice saves. Second period for sure. The second night, she made 2 or 3 big saves that really saved us in a 1-0 game that allowed us to win the games.
You have been steadfast with rotating Shelby Amesley-Benzie and Lexi Shaw. Shelby played both games last Friday and Saturday. You're at the point now where you have a hot goaltender, and it's tough to go away from that. And has she earned the spot on a night-to-night basis for now?
For now, she has. I mean, we still keep Lexi Shaw ready. Obviously, we're not going to say that she's not going to play. We go with a game-by-game basis, and we think that's good. We want to make sure whoever the goalie is rested, ready to go. And yes, obviously, coming off 2 shutouts, I mean, more than likely she'll be in the net on Saturday afternoon against Bemidji.
Yeah. This is an important sweep for you because as you look to accomplish one of your goals, and that is grab home ice for the opening round of the WCHA playoffs, you took all the points you could from the team that's above you in the standings. So a very important weekend for you as you look ahead.
Huge weekend for us. Like when you start looking at that, I believe Bemidji and Ohio State have 2 games in hand on us. Yeah. Right now we're 2 and 3 points behind them respectively. We play Bemidji this weekend. Another huge series for us. We have to do the same thing when we did down at Ohio State. We have to do that this weekend. You do that, you put yourself in a good spot. Yeah. At the end of the year, at the end of the day, you want to have home ice advantage in the first round, set yourself up so you can make that conference tournament and give yourself a bid for the NCAAs.
And what you've done now is you've put yourself in position where you and Duluth and Ohio State and Bemidji State are in a real dogfight for that fourth and final playoff spot.
Yeah, 3 to 6 right now is a logjam.
Right.
And it's anybody's game coming down, 5 weekends left?
Yeah.
So 8-10 games apiece. It's going to be anybody's game from 3 to 6, and it definitely makes the stretch run interesting.
All right, this weekend, Bemidji State, we have Saturday afternoon's game live here on Midco Sports Network, 2 o'clock start. Bemidji, improved hockey team this year. What's your points of emphasis for your team this week?
capitalize on opportunities and get to second chances. The first time around we played them, you know, we didn't play bad hockey. We didn't play great hockey. We thought we had some chances to score and do some good things. We didn't get to rebounds. We give Bemidji credit in the sense of they made sure we didn't get to the rebound. They were diving. They were keeping us out. You know, and then rebounds around our net, they were diving at pucks and getting to them. And, you know, we've started to find that way, and that's going to be key for us this weekend is to get traffic to their net, get the goalies moving side to side, you know, and then when we get a second chance opportunity, it has to go in. We have to win that puck, be it at either end. You know, if it's a second chance in front of Shelby, we have to make sure that we're getting that puck out of there or making sure they can't get to it. So those are going to be big keys for us moving forward.
So watch the play near the paint coming up this weekend.
Huge. Well, if you look at their last series, look at Bemidji's. They go into Wisconsin. They win 2-1, lose 2-1 in overtime. And shots in the games are, you know, I think it's like 45 the first night to 20.
Right.
You know, the second night is 63 to 16 or 20, somewhere in there. They have good goalies.
Goaltending.
And they play good defense around them. So if you don't get to those second chances, you're not going to score.
All right, Eric, good chatting with you. Your team has won 5 of its last 6 coming off the big sweep of Ohio State as you get ready to host Bemidji State this weekend. We're back with some final thoughts here on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota.
Coming up this weekend on Midco Sports Network, live coverage of North Dakota women's basketball. Thursday night at 7 as UND hosts Idaho. Then on Saturday, it's a hockey doubleheader. Women's hockey at 2, North Dakota and Bemidji. Men's hockey at Saturday night, North Dakota and Colorado College. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for North Dakota Hockey with Dave Haxtell.